Hello, boys and girls and women from all countries of the world, because I'm sure as hell know that a lot of the girls are watching this. That's the proof right there that a lot of women are watching me. Obviously, this is a women-centric YouTube channel, or is it? Well, welcome to me anyway, talking about music production while I commute. And today I'm going to be talking about something that's not super related to music production, to be honest, but more about events, creating events as an artist. I know that's a pretty semi-off topic, but it's definitely related to music production, since well, a lot of you might have this as a milestone. At least I did. From starting my music production, I kind of wanted to perform my music live in front of an audience. And some of you guys might not be up for this, but you know, to each his own. There are a lot of good things about doing that though, and I'll get to those later on. Firstly, how do you set up such an event? What would you need to do in order to get that working for you? And then what are the pros and so forth. Okay, so first, how do you set that up? Well, obviously you need to know someone who wants to host your event, or if you are super rich and you have your own venue, or if you just want to have your venue set at home or something like that, you know, then that's fine. But you kind of need a venue first, so figure that out, where you want to have that. If you want to have it out in the public space, you kind of need to figure out where do you want to host this event. And a good way to go for that is just to look at where, when you're out and relaxing, or when you're out on the town in a social space, where do you usually hang out? You know, which are your favorite cafes, which are your favorite bars, which are your favorite restaurants, which are your favorite clubs, and then go to these places and talk to the people there. And my tip for doing that talk, before going there and doing this, have your stuff set up properly. Have a good web page or a SoundCloud account. Have a proper roster of music set up, some mixtapes. It's preferable, it's good to have a couple of followers, but that's not necessary. It's not. I know for a fact I know a lot of people playing out who really don't have a bunch of followers on, you know, say SoundCloud. You don't need that, but it helps, sure. The most important thing is to show off the venue owner what you're all about, and make it apparent for them why they should trust you with their night, you know. So having a good profile up with you know, a good visual profile and some videos perhaps showing you playing somewhere, or some music video or whatever, some kind of thing that shows you as a character is good. And obviously to have your music set up and give examples of that. If you're a DJ, then an example mixtape is good to have, definitely. Anyway, once you have all this set up, a tip would be to have a business card with an address to all of these places that you can just hand out to the venue owner and say, okay, so this is what I got, you know, set me up or call me tomorrow and we'll talk about this further up. And the thing is, once you've done that, it's definitely not sure as hell that the person, the venue owner, is gonna go and like, okay, so I'm gonna check this out and then I'm gonna call. You know, they're not gonna do that straight off. They might just as well forget about you. Okay, so what you kind of need to do is just to ask them again, maybe a week later or a couple of days later, to follow up and say, okay, so how are you? Nice talking to you last week. And it's basically like a job interview, right? It's basically the same thing. So yeah, how are you? Like, have you been able to check me out? I'm looking forward to this so much, and you know, all that kind of thing. Yeah, and then do that to more than one place if you're able to. If you know more than one place, then definitely go and spread the carpet all across these different places. And some of these will definitely say, yeah, this does sound like a cool thing. And a pro thing to do as well, a pro tip would be to include a bunch of other people in your roster, so you're not alone in this. So listen, I mean, thinking about what I talked about earlier with having a bunch of friends, collaborations, making music together, that helps if you have a couple of those in your town, because then you can go together and say, okay, so we got these people following us, we're doing things together, you know, and we'd like to do this, you know, do a thing tonight, you know. So yeah, I mean, if you're even 4 people, you know, driving a small label like we are in our team here, then that's definitely beneficiary, because the more people you are, the more friends you'll end up engaging in coming to your event, you know. So that's the kind of thing that the venue owners obviously are looking for. How much people are these artists gonna bring to our night? How much are they gonna cost? How, you know, how much am I gonna gain from having these guys and girls? So yeah. And the tip would be to just go and ask the people, the venue owner, about doing a couple of free runs, just to show off that, yeah, you're serious here. You want to show that you actually can drive a venue before, you know, asking for money about it. And then great. So let's say if you've done all these things and you've finally found a venue to play at, you know, then you're so, you know, you're already ahead of the game right there. And that's great. Congratulations. Okay, so what's the next step? Well, then it's about delivering, right? It's about doing it, putting your your work where your mouth is, pretty much. So yes, that's the next step. What would you be doing to make sure that you're okay there, that you're all set there? Well, you would pretty much just make sure to prepare a lot in beforehand. Make sure that there's the gear that you need at the venue. Do that a couple of days ahead of schedule. The best thing is to scope the venue and make sure that you know what you want to set up. If you want to do some kind of decorations, or if you want to do if you need some special gear, you know, if they might need a sound system check, you know, there's all these kinds of things. So just do that check beforehand, and be at the venue a couple of hours earlier to just set all the things up. It's good to have time to do these kinds of things instead of just rushing through it when you're there for 5 minutes and then it's a haphazard thing. Just don't do that. Avoid that. You know, and then play the night there, and make sure you've spread all of this the information about your venue. Obviously, the play, you're gonna be sold on selling this on the interwebs, right? Let all your friends know, not once, not twice, but a bunch of times on this, for example, on Facebook. Make sure everyone knows about what's going down. You know? Set up the graphics. It's good to put up posters and set those up around town. Yeah, and then have a bunch, have a blast doing it. Document everything, videotape it to make sure that you have a roster for future events, and that's it. You'll have a lot of fun once you're done there, and it's a big thing to get set up. But once you have it all set up, once you're in the game, so to speak, with doing these kinds of things, it's gonna be such a relief finishing off these plays out live. It's gonna, I mean, if you're really into this kind of thing, then yeah, it's definitely worth the effort, even though the effort might be bigger than compared to some other things you might be doing. I mean, if you have the day job, this might be a bit of a thing to do, but if you're 4 or 5 people doing the event together, then it's definitely plausible to do events every month. We're doing it, you know, and commuting to work every day basically. So it's definitely plausible without having a big load on your personal life. And I could definitely recommend doing venues, because you'll end up broadening your fan base and you'll have a blast doing it. Yeah. Make sure to set up the venue, the play that you're doing, the event, in line with the music that you're producing, right? But that's a given. So for example, if you're doing experimental jazz fusion music with a tad taste of tango, then maybe you want to do a bit of a relaxed club evening, you know, I don't know, maybe some kind of you could do a bar hang thing. If you're doing rave music, then obviousobviously you might want to have the same kind of setup. Maybe you want to do an event outside, in an outside venue somewhere, depending on where you're at, obviously, or at an underground super club, you know, in Toronto. I don't know. You'll figure it out depending on what kind of music you're doing. Yeah, that's it. I highly recommend playing out and doing events. It's so much fun, and you'll get to know so many people by doing it. Okay. Have a great day and have a great night, and take care of your relatives, your friends around you. Make a lot of awesome music. In fact, if you're up for it, send me a bunch, you know? Post it in the comments below, okay? And please share this with the friends and the enemies you like, okay? Or hate, I don't know. I really want to hear from you. And subscribe if you enjoy it, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, mwah!